There we go. No, I'm not feeling the hat. Hey, what up? My name's Miles, and yeah, I know, I'm not that recognizable without a hat on. I got you this time, didn't I? Normally I'm all like, yeah, what hat am I gonna wear? And this time, I didn't do that. I don't know why I'm narrating this, like, you know I do stupid things. This is a great way to start a video that's supposed to be informational and helpful. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 tips for starting cosplay. Does it feel like I'm screaming? I feel like I'm screaming. I feel like whenever there's a camera on and I got a mic, you never know if the mic's gonna reach me, so I gotta project. A couple days ago, I ran a poll on the community tab on our YouTube, and I asked you guys that I wanted to see what you wanted to see. That's a stupid sentence. I gave you guys a list of 5 different video ideas that I plan on making. I plan on making all of them at some point, but I asked you to kind of rank them in priority of which one you wanted to see first in terms of this, because I wanted to start making more content like this to help more people, to give more information, because I do feel, as goofy as I am, I do have some valuable information that I would love to try and help people with in not only the cosplay world, but the content world, the nerdy world, whatever it might be. I feel like I have some important things that I could share that could possibly help some people that I would have desperately needed to hear when I was starting. I feel like every time I run a poll, there's one option that just smashes through every time, and that was this one, the 5 tips on starting cosplay. This won with an overwhelming majority vote, so that's the video we're going to make first of 5 tips on starting your cosplay journey. This could be prefaced any way that you would like. This could be 5 tips for your first cosplay you're building, 5 tips for kind of promoting your first cosplay, 5 tips for wearing your cosplay. Whatever the situation is for you, it's your first time doing something related to cosplay, and it is kind of your introduction into this world. And yeah, that can kind of be scary. Trust me, I know just as well as anyone else who does cosplay, starting off can definitely be a bit overwhelming and a bit stressful. So it's nice to have a couple tips to hopefully ease your mind and ease your way into it. Now, you may be asking, what qualifies me for giving you these tips? What gives me the credibility to help you and share these tips online? Absolutely nothing. Seriously, I may actually be the most unprofessional dude you've ever met in your life. I literally say that I'm unprofessionally professional like every video. In all seriousness, my community knows that as much as I like to joke around and play and be a goofball, I do try my best to help people and spread information around to inspire, motivate, and push creativity as far as I can, not only with myself, but with my mutuals and with my community as well. If you're new to the community or you don't know who I am or the community, hey, what's up? My name's Miles. Welcome. Feel free to subscribe or like. The buttons aren't there, but feel free to do it. But I've always said my main goal for not only this channel, but all of my platforms is to try and change the world and try to help people. And this would be a great way to do so, given how many people actually wanted a video like this, to try to intro you into the cosplay world. Aside from that, I do also have a decent amount of experience with cosplay. I've been dressing up as my favorite characters for my entire life, but I've been building my own cosplays pretty much since high school, and ever since then, I've continued to push forward, innovate, and improve different things. Not only do I cosplay indie character suits, as well as do photo shoots, videos, promos, brand deals, all that fun stuff, but I've also had the privilege and opportunity to speak out to the community at multiple events for things just like this. I've legitimately held a panel at Fan Expo Chicago about this exact thing, about how to start cosplay, how to start content creation, how to deal with online hate, how to deal with all that stuff. I was given that opportunity last August, and the ability to actually speak out and help people in person and talk to them afterwards was incredibly cool. So while I might not have any like professional credibility that says he's a professional cosplayer, you should listen to him, I do have a lot of experience in both the highest of highs and the lowest of lows in doing this, in this whole journey. So while I'm not saying you have to listen to me, might as well hear what I have to say, hear the guy out. Maybe there's something you'll connect with. Anyway, I've rambled on for long enough. These are 5 tips to start your cosplay journey. Number 1 is start off cheap. I know you might be thinking that cosplay is incredibly expensive, and well, it kind of is actually. But it doesn't have to be, and especially doesn't have to be if you are just starting out. If you are planning your first cosplay, planning your first suit, planning your first build, and you're looking at all of these professional suits, you're looking at this professional Spider-Man suit, this professional leather Captain America suit, this professional Jason Voorhees mask, you're looking at all of these things and you're thinking, damn, I didn't know this was so expensive. Hold on, calm down for a second. chill out. Nobody is telling you that you need to get the most expensive item. Nobody is forcing you to go bankrupt to cosplay a character. The great thing about cosplay is it's such an inviting community. There really aren't any limits as to what you can do as long as you do it respectfully. That includes the quality and price of the materials you use and the costume you wear. Nobody's gonna sit there and judge you for wearing a cheap cosplay or for wearing a DIY build. In fact, a lot of cosplayers and viewers in the community praise the people who do DIY their own builds, who do kit bash, who do come up with their own ideas, and who do have money-saving tips. Obviously, as you move farther down in your cosplay journey, as you start acquiring more suits, getting more ideas, getting more ambitious, and starting to kind of venture out to more things, yes, things are going to get more expensive. The projects are going to get pricey. You might want higher quality stuff. It's going to get more expensive as time goes on, but this is for a beginner who's just starting out. You really don't have to spend that much money to get started. You can make a cheap cosplay and have it work for you, and who knows, you might actually come up with something really cool. There's absolutely no reason to commit into an expensive cosplay. There's no reason to commit if you maybe don't even know if you want to do it, you know? Like, you might just be tiptoeing around cosplay. You might be just testing the waters, seeing, hey, that looks pretty cool. Maybe I want to do it, but I don't want to blow that much money. Then don't. The example I give all the time is my first ever Spider-Man suit was not a real Spider-Man suit. It was a custom DIY kit bash build that I thrifted. I thrifted every piece of that suit and I made it my own. It was legitimately my own version of a homemade Spider-Man suit. I didn't have a suit, so I wore a compression shirt. I didn't have a mask, so I got a cheap one from a Halloween store. I didn't have a face shell, so I made one out of cardboard. All of the armor I thrifted off of old catcher's gear, soccer gear, football gear. The hoodie and pants I already owned. The Converse I already owned, and the backpack I took out of the garbage from someone and painted on a Spider-Man thing. It was the cheapest cosplay I owned because I didn't really buy anything for it. It was all thrifted and it was all DIY, and it still stands to be one of my favorite suits I've ever built on, and I'm actually rebuilding that this year for an upcoming project I have later on. Maybe this year, maybe next year, doesn't matter. But the point I'm making is you can make something really, really cool without a lot of resources or money. You can kit bash all of this stuff and get creative with it. Maybe you need a prop or a blaster, then you can grab a Nerf gun and repaint it. I have videos showing you how to do that. Maybe you want to be Jason Voorhees, but you can't afford the mask, then get a cheap one and repaint it like this. This was a $2 mask. I have another video showing you how to do that. What if you want to be Nightwing? Well, then put together a black outfit, grab some motorcycle armor, and paint over it. Eye black the face mask and you're good to go. Or of course, what if you want to be Spider-Man? Well, then do what Peter Parker and Miles Morales always do first and make your own homemade suit. Get creative with it. Remember, this is all about testing the waters and seeing if you actually like what this is. And if you do, then you can invest more time and money. But when you're starting, start cheap, see if you like it, and slowly improve from there. And honestly, when you're limited on budget, some of the things that you can make out of purely just that creativity and limitation are way cooler than what you could have made if you had the money to buy a professional item. Tip number 2, be creative and experiment. You're just starting off in this world. You have absolutely no expectations, which means you have absolutely no limitations on what you can do. Again, like I said, there's not going to be somebody telling you that that's wrong or you did that incorrectly or that sucks. If they are telling you those things, then screw those people because they're not fun. A lot of cosplayers and a lot of people in the community will support creative ideas. They'll support original ideas. They'll support people DIY and kit bashing things out of their own creativity, making custom suits and custom concepts. You have so much wiggle room to experiment, especially in these earlier stages, where you don't really have a certain limit to hit. You're not really going for screen accuracy. You're not going to impress a client or a certain following. You're just doing what you want to do. You have so much freedom to do that. So I implore you to actually take advantage of that and get creative. Do things that you normally wouldn't do. Do things that no one else is doing. Like I said, there's a whole section of cosplay that is dedicated to screen accuracy, dedicated to getting a suit as accurate as you can to the movies. One of my suits that does that is my Biker Scout Trooper from Return of the Jedi. The 501st, which this guy is a part of, the 501st not in the movie, the 501st is like a charity organization with all the stormtroopers. But the 501st has a very strict set of rules on how your suit has to look. That's my only suit that I have to make sure is accurate to the screen, accurate to the reference, and making sure I'm following everything. And it's stressful and annoying. I don't like having to do that, but it does look satisfying in the end. But that doesn't necessarily mean that every single cosplay needs to be screen accurate. In fact, it doesn't mean that at all. I actually encourage people to make cosplays more custom, to add on some mods, add some variations, add a little bit of creativity to it, because I like to see what people do differently. I like to see how people change things up. A good character for that is like Jason Todd, Red Hood. I've never seen a duplicate Red Hood costume. Everyone who makes it makes their own, and it's awesome. You could do that with anything, and you have so much room to experiment. Cosplay is about creating, being creative, and coming up with these ideas, and nobody can really tell you that you're wrong. You have the ability to bring an idea, to life through a costume. In fact, 3 of the suits that I've done, which are actually my top 3 favorite suits that I've ever done, are all original character designs. They're all custom made. The first one, which I mentioned before, was the custom streetwear Spider-Man. The second one is a streetwear Miles Morales suit, which is a newer one that I just came up with. And the third one is actually a Bumblebee design from Transformers called B-127, taking Bumblebee and turning him into like a cyborg human survivor thing. There was no reference for that. I drew up the reference and I came up with it myself. And then I built the cosplay and it's one of my favorites. Take advantage of the fact that you have creativity and absolutely invest in that. See what you can make. The reason I'm telling you this is because I feel like there's so much pressure that comes on with new cosplayers thinking they have to be super accurate to a certain design. They have to be absolutely perfect. This button has to be this amount of inches from this button. It has to be this color. It has to do this. It has to be that. Don't do that. Don't end your project before it starts because it doesn't look exactly how it should or exactly how you want it to. If you're going for screen accuracy, then that's fine. You could take the time and look up the references and go for that, but no one's forcing you to do that. No one's gonna be sitting there being critical or ridiculing you for not being super accurate. And again, if they are, screw those people. We don't like them. If you do that, don't do that. Be supportive or don't say nothing. That's all I got. Tip number 3, network. Now we're getting a little bit past the creating side and a little bit more of the not boring side, but the connection side. The thing you do after you've created the cosplay and you want to share it around. Networking is incredibly important, not only for a cosplayer who wants to create content, but just for a cosplayer who wants to meet new people who do the same thing that they do. Now, this is not a video about 5 tips for becoming a content creator or a cosplay content creator. I have another video coming out for both of those things. This is simply just a tip in starting cosplay. So if you're worried about that, don't sweat it at all. I got you. Starting cosplay may seem very scary and overwhelming, and that's probably because it is, but you need to know that you're not the only one doing it. In fact, you're definitely not the only one doing it. There are probably thousands of other people out there just like you who want to start but don't know how. Hopefully all of those people are watching this video and get this information. And if not, hopefully they see this video at some point. The reason cosplay seems so scary when you're starting is because you feel alone. You feel like you don't have any friends who do it as well. Maybe all of your friends from school or work don't do it, and you're moving into this world of you have no clue what you're doing and you feel alone. Well, again, like I said, you're not alone. There are thousands of other people out there who are doing what you are doing or who want to do what you are doing, and it is very important you find those people and connect with them, because not only will it build genuine connections and friendships all around of people who do the same thing as you, but cosplaying is 1,000 times more fun when you have people who not only support it, but people who do the same thing and you can support them. It's a mutual enjoyment that makes things so much more fun, and a mutual support system. You always feel like someone has your back, whether it's for giving you tips and tricks, helping you fix your sewing machine, giving you references, maybe sending you a link to a piece that you might need, or maybe you find something that your friend would be perfect for, you send it to them. It's this great feeling of having this connection all around you of people who are doing the same thing. So I encourage anybody who wants to get into cosplay to start networking out. Now, how do you do that, you might ask? Well, there are plenty of ways to do it, and it's actually a lot easier than you think it is. The first is obviously social media, content creation, sharing your creations out into the world, taking photos of your cosplay and posting them, throwing up a video on TikTok, making a YouTube video, making an Instagram post, doing anything to reach into this cosplay world, using the cosplay hashtags, DMing different cosplayers, saying, hey, I love your stuff, would you check out mine? Little things like that. Now, obviously, don't go around spamming people. That's rude. Don't go around spamming DMs. Don't spam my DMs. But you're more than welcome and send a polite DM or leave a comment on someone's thing saying, hey, I love your stuff, would you check out mine? Building up that bit of connection. It definitely seems scary trying to go into the social media world of cosplay and you have no clue what you're doing, because again, if you have a smaller account, you're trying to grow it, you don't have that credibility, you're just trying to get a leg up. It is scary. But trust me, there are people out there who are at the same level as you that are more than willing to team up, work together, build that community, and grow together. At the end of the day, cosplay really isn't a contest or a popularity contest. It's simply people who dress up in masks and spandex and like each other's photos. That sounded wrong. Let's rephrase that one. It's people who dress up as their favorite characters and support each other. That still can probably be taken wrong. Anyway, let's keep it PG. Starting off networking, you want to create those social media accounts. Again, I'm gonna have another video showing you how to do that and giving you tips on how to start that. So again, definitely stay tuned for that, because that's gonna be important for anybody who wants to start creating content online. Now, maybe content creation isn't your thing. Maybe social media isn't your thing, and that's totally okay. Not everyone does it. Trust me, it's not for everyone. There are ups and downs of it. But maybe you still want to network. You still want to meet friends. Well, I'm assuming if you cosplay, whatever you're cosplaying as, whether it's Star Wars, Marvel, DC, Dragon Ball Z, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, whatever it is, there is a place for you that all of those people go to. There are comic book conventions, comic shops, cosplay meetups, all of these places that you can actually physically go to and meet people. Now, obviously, disclaimer, you want to be safe. Bring a friend that you trust. Don't ever go alone to these things. You want to be safe if it's your first time going. That's common sense. Don't be dumb. But consider saving up for a badge to C2E2 or your local fan expo or comic convention, wherever it is. That is a place where you can go not only to show off your cosplay, but to network out to everyone else who does the same thing within that general area. Get some numbers, get some social media, make some contacts, make some friends, do all that stuff. Again, safely. Be cautious. Don't be giving out your number to everybody, but you understand what I'm saying. There are ways to do it without social media. I do recommend having social media if you want to get into that, but it's by no means a requirement, and I understand how it might be a bit of a boundary issue for some people. No one's forcing you to do that. It's just an option for you to take. But networking is very important for anybody who does feel a bit alone. Networking can literally be as simple as leaving a comment on a YouTube video like this one and finding somebody else who feels the same way. Boom, right there. Now you're in a community. Or maybe you don't want to make your own content, or you don't want to go to an expo or anything. You can still network out. That's why communities exist online. I always strive to push community. That's why on Instagram, I have a whole tab for community where people can join for free just to be part of that community. Or my community tab here on YouTube. I try to make it as communal as possible so that everybody feels involved. Now that's just me. I'm sure there are other creators out there who do that, but I'm letting you know that is another resource. Regardless of all of it, there is something out there for you to network out to people like you. 28 minutes, damn, I gotta speed up. Number 4, ask for help. Please don't feel like you are alone and you have to do all of this alone. Don't Lone Ranger this, don't Batman this. Batman does work alone. Don't do that. My first cosplay, I did that. And while I was really happy with the end result of that cosplay, I know that if I had asked for help, I would have saved myself in a lot of different departments, in a lot of different areas, and I would have just had a bit of a helping hand in making that. As it was my first cosplay, I was very self-critical on it. I would have had more help had I just asked for it. You are not alone in building this stuff. You're not alone in resources. You're not alone in looking this stuff up. Ask for help. DM a cosplayer. Hey, I love your suit. Where did you get it? Can I ask you some questions on this? I don't know about this. Can you talk to me a bit? Hey, your cosplay looks great. Could you answer these questions about it? Now, I can't guarantee that every single person you DM will answer. I know myself, my DMs are packed with spam bots, so it's impossible for me to get in, but I still do try to look at them and help people who do ask questions. Your best bet is probably leaving a comment on a cosplayer's post saying, hey, I love this. Where'd you get it? Or something like that. Be respectful of their privacy. They are a person too, but you can ask for help. You can ask for help in communities. Like I said, the community tab here on YouTube and on Instagram. You can ask for help in these places. You can ask other people. Go to forums online, make a Discord page, find a Discord page, find a Reddit page, find the RPF, Replica Prop Forum. You can find all of these things that have resources that you need that will help you build these things. Or maybe that's all too much for you. Maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you're more of a visual learner. Then look on YouTube. Look up what you need. Building a Spider-Man cosplay. Type it in, hit search. I guarantee my name pops up at least once because I've made like 45 videos. That's a lie. Probably like 20 on simply just Spider-Man cosplay tips. I'm out of breath. Maybe it's not even about cosplay. Maybe you want to do something different. How to swing a lightsaber. Boom, your boy's got a playlist for that too. But this isn't just about plugging myself. Everybody makes these things. There are people online who make videos, who make posts for the specific purpose of helping people just starting out. Don't feel like you have to learn everything alone. One of the best ways to start doing something is to ask somebody who is doing what you want to be doing. Asking for their help, asking for their advice, asking for what they are doing that you can try. Trust me, nobody is above asking for help. No matter the follower count, the videos they post, no matter what, everyone's human and no one is above asking for help. There are cosplays that I build now that I ask for help. All of these 501st things, there's an entire forum full of guys who build these, who have helped me with different pieces, who helped me attach armor in certain places, who've built helmets like this that I have watched them build so that I could build mine. If you have a question about something, odds are someone else has that question too. And even higher odds that that question has been asked and answered somewhere. So look it up, look up the answer, figure it out, look up a video, ask for help. You're not alone, and I encourage you to connect with your networking and ask for help. That's why networking is so important, so you have a community of people that you can go to who know these things. Or if they don't know it, damn, they're gonna be sure to figure that out for you. Trust me, I've never met a group of more dedicated people than if they're all doing the same thing and have the same goal, like cosplayers. Last tip, number 5, and this is the most important one. Out of all the ones I said, this is the one that I need you to listen to the most. That's why I left it to the end. Tip number 5, fail. Yep, you definitely heard me right. I need you to fail at pretty much everything you try when you start. Hear me out. Now, this one might seem a bit counterintuitive. You might be asking, why is this guy who seems so positive telling me to fail? Why is this guy who said he was gonna help me telling me to fail? I thought he was supposed to be supporting us. I thought he was supposed to be giving us tips. He's supposed to be telling us how to grow and succeed, not fail. I'm not telling you how to fail, and I'm not telling you that you should fail. I'm telling you it's important to try something new and fail at it. Because a wise man once said that failure is the greatest teacher. Actually, he said it backwards. He said the greatest teacher failure is. Bonus points for anybody who could tell me who said that and what movie it's in. I gave you the biggest hint by saying he says it backwards, so anyone should know that. Why am I telling you this? Let's say that you start cosplay, you start this journey, you take that leap. You get a cheap Nerf gun and you repaint it. Maybe you design your own suit and you try to build it. You have a video idea and you try to film it and it doesn't turn out the way you want it to. The paint on the Nerf gun doesn't stick and it reacts badly together and it deteriorates your entire Nerf blaster. The video you made didn't record the way you wanted it to and it cut off half the screen. Or the cosplay that you wanted to make fell apart the second you put it on. And after these things, you start to lose that spark and excitement of cosplay because it turns into more of a chore. It turns into more doubt. It turns into more hesitation. It turns into more insecurity. It turns into all these things that you thought it was going to turn into when you started, and you realize that, dang, maybe I shouldn't have started because this is exactly what I thought was going to happen. Stop. Don't do that. You would be surprised if I told you how many people have been through that exact same moment. Take a guess. Think about how many people have been through that exact moment. Actually, stop. Don't guess. I'll give you the answer. Everyone. Literally everyone. Go online, scroll through your phone, and find a random creator that you like, no matter what they do. If it's art, music, video, photography, cosplay, no matter what they do. Look at what they do. See how cool that stuff looks? They failed before. Probably when they started, they failed more than anything. Every single finished post you see, there's probably 100 other failures behind it you didn't see. You need to fail in order to grow. If you didn't fail with that first Nerf gun and the paints didn't clash, you wouldn't learn what paints work together for your second one. If your cosplay didn't fall apart, you wouldn't learn how to put it back together the right way. If the video didn't record wrong, you wouldn't learn the right angle to record at the second time. The first ever time I tried this suit on, every single piece of armor fell off. Every single one. I had to lug it all back home in a plastic baggie. Actually, like 10 plastic bags. There's a lot of armor and I didn't have a lot of Target bags. I had to lug that thing home, drop it on my desk, and just restart and fix it. And it sucked because I spent months building that thinking that it was gonna work, and it didn't. But now when I take it out and I wear it, it doesn't break because I built it in a different way. I had to fail in order to learn. The first ever time I repainted a Nerf blaster, it sucked. The paint didn't go together. I didn't know how to weather or dry brush. It looked terrible. But if I had given up on that one, I wouldn't learn how to repaint every other blaster I've done. I wouldn't have learned how to do any other repaint, like this Jason mask that people love, or the Scream mask that I did, or the Buzz Lightyear or Zurg figure that I repainted. I wouldn't have learned how to do those things if I didn't take the time to actually fail and develop a new skill. Every time you fail at something, you develop a skill to counteract that you won't fail at that exact thing next time. Every single time I failed on one of those things, yeah, it sucked and I was kind of disappointed, but I didn't give up. I just tried something new until it eventually worked. And I'm not free of failure now. Every single thing that you guys see me post, I probably failed 10 times. The video right now is at like 38 minutes. Guarantee this video isn't 38 minutes long, but you have no idea how many different cuts I had to do, how many different takes I had to do, because I got a line wrong, because I got a word wrong, because I was standing in the wrong part of the frame. I'm not in the center. The point I'm getting at is you have to be okay with messing up. You have to be okay with failing. And if you're starting something new, I completely understand why that might struggle, why that might be a bit overwhelming. If you're trying to start something brand stinking new and you're super excited about it and you fail, dang, that motivation is gone, right? I can tell you this myself because right now I'm confident enough with everything that I do that if I fail, I know I can try again and something might work. Or if I fail again, I can try another thing and maybe it'll work. But I'm in this constant cycle of trying new things, but I wasn't always that way. When I first started out, I took those failures really hard. The first Nerf gun I repainted, I hated it so much that I took months to even try another one. The first cosplay that fell apart, again, I took months before I even considered doing another one. Hell, I didn't even have TikTok for the first like 2 years of it coming out because I was afraid I would fail at it. And even when I started, I was afraid of the reception. You have to fail in order to learn, especially if you're starting something new. Failure is so important. Now, you might be wondering, why am I telling you this? Because am I encouraging you to fail? Well, yeah, actually, because anytime you fail, it means you tried to do something you didn't know how to do. And by doing that, you either learned how to do it and succeeded, or you learned what not to do so that you can learn how to do it and succeed again. And I want to instill this into everybody's head. Nobody is free from failure. You're going to fail. There are going to be moments where you doubt all of this, where it all gets too overwhelming and you don't really know if you want to be doing this. That is normal. That happens to everyone. The best of us, it happens to. Every single creator you follow, it happens to them. Probably daily. You don't see the failures. No one's gonna show you the failures, but they are there to everyone. Please believe me when I say that, because I am one of these creators. You have no idea how many failures I have have that I've never posted, how many photos that I don't show because I don't like how they look, how many props I've repainted that I don't make videos on, how many video ideas that I have fully edited that I never posted because I don't like them. You're going to fail. I'm getting redundant at this point. I'm repeating myself, but I really want to hammer this point home because I know that there's someone out there who this is going to help hear, that if somebody who does the things that I try to do fails every time he tries something, maybe it'll inspire somebody else who is failing. I don't know if that came out the way I wanted it to, but I want to just get the point across that people shouldn't be discouraged if they fail. As one of my close friends once told me, and a line that changed my life, he said, if you're not failing, you're not doing it right. That never really resonated with me until recently, and it's one of the best things I ever heard. Thanks, Chris. Anyway, I hope that those 5 tips helped somebody learn something or helped somebody get over some form of fear or hesitation that they might have going into this cosplay world. If you have any other questions, comments, concerns, queries that you might have that I didn't address, please feel free to leave a comment, and I'm definitely going to try to get back to every single one because I know this video is really important, not only to me, but to everyone viewing it. I want to try to help as many people as I can. That includes in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching. I really do hope that I helped somebody in this video. This is a bit different from my other content, but like I said, I'm trying to switch it up, diversify, and make more forms of content, including this. Now, a couple updates that I do need to share. Number 1, the print costume code that we have to save 15% has updated. It is no longer miles, M-I-L-E-S, it is now miles 15, M-I-L-E-S 15. If you've used the code before, it will still apply, but if you try to use it now, you need to use the new one. So if you go on print costume, you use the code, use MILES 15. Every 13 people that use that code, I'll get a free suit that I'll give out to somebody else because I don't need another suit right now. Okay, so I may have spoke too soon. Quick update. So as I'm editing this video, somebody actually did DM me. Like, I don't know how this happened to work perfectly. Someone DM'd me saying that the code miles15 isn't working because I made a post on Instagram saying this too, but the OG code miles is still working. I don't know which code is working at this point because Print Costume emailed me telling me that they had to change the code, but somebody said that the old code is working. So what I'll say now is just use one of the 2 codes. Try them both, MILES or MILES 15. One of them's gonna work. And when I get a confirmed answer from Print Costume, then I'll make an update for sure saying this is the code. But they told me it was miles 15. Someone just said it was actually miles. I don't know, but use them both. See which one works. So if you want a Spider-Man suit and plan to get one, go to Print Costume, which is my preferred vendor. Use that code and you'll help me give someone a Spider-Man suit. Or if someone you know wants a Spider-Man suit, tell them to use that code. And again, same deal. Update number 2. Instagram. I know I said if we hit 10K before the end of the year, I'll give away a Spider-Man suit. It's the end of the year, start of the new one. We're not at 10K, but I don't care. If we hit 10K, I'm gonna give away a Spider-Man suit separate from Print Costume. It'll be my own, out of my own pocket, and I'm just gonna give it away to someone on Instagram. Make sure you're following there to join that when it's announced. Update number 3. This is the big one that everyone's waiting for. I'm doing a secret cosplay in October of this year. 10 months from now, a secret cosplay will be revealed. Every video I make during this year, I'll drop a different hint on the cosplay. I already dropped some blurred out concept art. Obviously, I can't show you what it is because it'll ruin the secret, but I will give out hints throughout the year to give you a bit of an idea. Hint number 1, I already gave on my Instagram channels, so I'll give it here too. It is a Miles David original design. That's my name, by the way. It is an original design. That's all I can say about it. Hint number 2, and I'm gonna tell everyone on Instagram that it's here because this is exclusive to this video. It mixes 2 very different themes. That's all I can say. I can't explain any of the hints, but those are the 2 hints that you have right now. Happy guessing. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up real quick. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. As always, please share this video around. Try to get it to as many people as we can. Do all that fun stuff. I don't really feel like saying like, share, subscribe. I feel like that's boring. Peace and love. Do good things, and I'll see everybody in the next one. Peace.
Yeah, Spider-Man!